There's a specific kind of tired that sleep cannot fix. It's not a lack of rest, it's a lack of direction. You look around and see everyone moving, talking, and achieving, but you feel like a ghost in your own life. It's the feeling of trying so hard to avoid the trap that you ended up trapping yourself in the foot. You have been running at 100% for so long that your check engine light has finally burnt out. And the hardest part is that no one noticed. Because you have become so good at pretending you're okay, people have started believing the masks. We talk about the grind as if it's a badge of honor, but no one talks about the dust it leaves behind. It's the silence in the room after you have achieved exactly what you thought you wanted, only to find that prize feels like a lead in your hands. You have spent so much time calculating the ROI of your life that you have forgotten how to seem to exist within it. You are trapped in a loop of optimization, refining a version of yourself that you don't even recognize anymore. When someone asks how are you say I'm just tired. Because explaining the truth that you feel lost, broken and completely out of fuel would take more energy than you have left. The loneliest part isn't being alone, it's being surrounded by people who think they know you. They see the bright, bold letters of your life, but they can't see the person standing in the shadows behind them. You stop trying to explain because the foot of translation is too heavy. How do you explain to someone who is winning that you feel like you have already lost the game, even though you're still on the field? So you sit in the empty chair, watching the world move in fast forward, realizing that your truth is a language no one else speaks. People offer solutions like they're reading from a manual, telling you to think positive, not realizing that you have already tried every exit door and found them all locked from the outside. Their misunderstanding becomes a second layer of exhaustion. You start to feel like a broken matchstick in a box of perfect ones, functional enough to look the part, but too cold to ever catch fire again. You are down to your last matchstick, holding onto it while the wind keeps getting stronger. You realize eventually that your ambition was a ghost you have been chasing through a graveyard of your own time. We are taught that more is the cure for lost, but the more you add to your plate, the heavier the table becomes until the legs start to buckle. You aren't just tired of the work, you're tired of the version of yourself that thought the work was the only thing that made you worth of existing. You have become a spectator to your own burnout, watching your potential flicker like that lone matchstick, wondering if it was ever meant to light a fire or it was just meant to burn out in the dark. There's a strange sorrow in realizing you have become a technical glazed world that only values a perfect signal. You show up, you perform and you smile, but internally the gears have stopped turning. You feel like a jacket draped over a chair in a room where the party ended hours ago. People walk past you talking about their tomorrow while you're still trying to figure out how to survive the last 5 minutes of today. The loneliness isn't about being forgotten, it's about being remembered for a version of yourself that no longer exists. You start to carve the darkness because it's the only thing that doesn't demand an explanation. In the shadows, you don't have to be the one who notices or the one who fixes. You find a strange comfort in the matchstick going out, because at least then the pressure to sign is gone. This is the stage where words fail, and the only thing left is the heavy, dramatic ticking of a clock that seems to be counting down to a moment that never arrives. You're waiting for permission to fall apart, not realizing that you have already been in pieces for years. But perhaps there is a hidden mercy in hitting the bottom. When you're truly lost, the maps no longer matter. And when the maps don't matter, you're finally free to walk in any direction you choose. The trap was the belief that there was only one right way to be. As you see it in that quiet, misunderstood space, you begin to see that the matchstick didn't fail because it went out. It fulfilled its purpose by showing you just how dark the room really was. You are no longer fighting to be seen, you're learning how to see yourself. In the end, you realize that being misunderstood is the price of being deep. The trap was never the work. The trap was the expectation that anyone else could carry your weight for you. There's a strange cold peace in that loneliness. Once you accept that no one is coming to save you, because no one truly sees that you're drowning, you finally stop fighting the water. And in that stillness, you might finally find the strength to save yourself. So let the world continue its loud, frantic race. Let the clock tick and the trap snap short for everyone else. You're here in the stillness, and for the first time, that is enough. You don't need to be understood by them to be valid. You don't need to be useful to be worthy. You are the one who stayed when everyone else left. And in that radical act of staying with yourself, you find the only spark that actually matters. The fire hasn't died. It's just waiting for a version of you that knows how to hold it without getting burned.